we are back on My Mayor with candidate Robert Blackmon. Hello, sir.
Happy to be here. Good to see you.
So how's life on the campaign trail?
We're number two. Still alive. Happy to get through. So thank you.
So we've been working you pretty hard with the deep and meaningful questions for 10 weeks now, or 10 episodes now. So we're going to give you some softballs and just relax and celebrate your win. So first, let's talk about the night of. Where were you? Who were you celebrating with, and how did that go?
So night of, we celebrated last night at the Urban Still House, gorgeous facility in South St. Pete, corner of 22nd Street and 5th Ave South. Friends, family, supporters, endorsers, community members I'd never met who said they voted for me and they were looking for change in the city. We had a good time. We had a large, overwhelming turnout of people. We overwhelmed the bartending staff. I felt bad, but also was touched by the amount of elected officials who showed up and believe in me. We had Councilwoman Kathleen Ford, Commissioner Kathleen Peters, Mayor Rick Baker, Councilmember Larry Ahern, and a whole bunch more that I'm slipping my mind right now. But the point is, we had people from across the political spectrum. Mayor Bob Ulrich was there. And it just goes to show that you can bring everybody together to make a better city. And that's exactly what this campaign's about, what I hope to continue messaging as we go on.
So speaking of the campaign, you're out meeting everybody, connecting with the community. What were the memorable takeaways from that experience? What'd you learn?
Well, I learned a lot over the campaign, but what I really learned was that we need to always go outside our comfort zone. And, so much in politics, I think people only want to talk to those who share the exact same viewpoints as them. But there's never any true learning or growth if you're only talking to like-minded people. That's why I always like to put myself outside my comfort zone. I reach out to everybody who doesn't share my viewpoint because that's how we learn and that's how we grow together as an inclusive city. I'll give you a great story from last weekend, how I did my last-minute get out the vote push. We had sent out a mass text encouraging people to vote in next week's election. The only people who I returned the calls for, because you get the track of who says what, a lot of people said, we're supporting you, go Blackmon, we're excited. The only people I called back were ones who said the most unspeakable, god-awful things. They said, F you, you're the worst. One guy said that I was just like the rest of them, a crook, a criminal, a liar, a cheat. I called every single one of these people. I said, hey, I got your text message. You want to talk about the campaign? The conversion rate was almost 100% of people who are anti to becoming voters. And that's because, first of all, people don't think you're ever going to respond to them and take the time. But also, people want the respect of having that connection with their elected official. And they deserve it. Because if you're running to have the top job in the city, you should be beholden and willing to listen to the average everyday voter and their frustrations, because it's all about representing everybody. And life's tough. A mayor's job is to make it a little bit easier.
Interesting. So that sounds like an interesting way to spend an afternoon. Let's dig into that a little bit more. So, was it mostly that folks just didn't feel heard? It sounds like a lot of the things they were saying weren't even really specific to you. It's just a general expression of frustration. And so because of that, did they tend to open up pretty quickly, or did you have to dig in with some of them?
They opened up pretty quickly. The people said, oh my gosh, I didn't know anybody was getting these. I didn't think anybody would respond. I'm just frustrated with, the way politics has gotten in this country. And it was nothing specific to you. The guy who said all that crook liar stuff said, I just feel all politicians are the same and I'm just disgusted with the process. And I said, so am I. That's why I'm running, because I have not ever felt represented by what I've seen as the status quo. We need to change that and bring back a people-first view of politics, not a politician-first view of politics. It should be a politician's job to enrich the lives of all citizens, not enrich their own personal lives. And when you see some of these people who have crossed the generational gap and been in office 2 decades or more, sometimes it's time for a change. And I think that we've shaken it up. We've shown what happened with the results last night. And there's a serious movement in place. And it's not my movement. It's the movement of everybody in the city.
So now, as you are down to the final two, the strategy and the messaging switches a little bit to differentiation. So What do you say to the 30% or so folks that didn't vote for either you or Ken?
You know, I'm always open to talk and to listen. We may not agree on everything, but I guarantee you I will always take that call. I will always take that meeting. I will always read that email. I will always respond. My cell phone number is what I always call people off. I'm always welcome to share that. And I want to hear how we can make a better city for everyone. Again, it's not about me. It's not about a politician making a salary. It's about how we can make this city the best, not for today, but for future generations, and how we can really bring St. Pete to the forefront for everybody. My campaign theme and slogan has been St. Pete for all. I want everyone to feel they have a seat at the table and their voice is heard. Now, I want to delve into some specifics because my biggest frustration has always been a lack of specifics. And I always bring ideas to the table. Marina redevelopment, Tropicana Field redevelopment, true economic growth for Midtown through a grant system and the moving of municipal services to Midtown St. Pete. Science Center and science education, reducing the environmental effects we've had in our city. All of this is important to me. And I want you to understand that I am always waiting to hear what's important to you. My platform can expand through knowledge and engagement. Please engage with me and let's make this the best city it can be for everyone.
Candidate Robert Blackmon, it's good to see you again. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.